What does it take to maintain the status of the world's best airport? Singapore's Changi is already a global icon, but now they're going bigger. Way bigger. They're betting roughly $10 billion on a mega terminal so vast it requires reclaiming new land from the sea. A terminal built to operate during future pandemics, powered by massive solar roofs and connected by tunnels drilled beneath an active runway. Hey, I'm Luis, and today we're looking at Singapore's next venture into the future, Terminal 5 at Changi Airport. Singapore is a tiny city-state, but it's a shockingly rich one. With only a small population and very few natural resources, the country has long found its power as a trading hub and gateway to Asia. Its first success was a marine port, but since the 1980s, Singapore has also sought wealth as an air hub. That's when they opened Changi Airport on the far eastern edge of Singapore, largely built on reclaimed land. The project started small, but very much planned to grow. Therefore, it's no surprise they opened with a plan already in place to expand from 1 terminal to 3. They had even chosen a site for a potential 4th terminal. Over the following decades, Changi expanded steadily, reaching full capacity by 2017. By then, the airport was already being recognized as one of the best in the world. In fact, Skytrax, the organization that rates airports and airlines, has named Changi the world's best 13 times since 2000. And if you've ever seen anything about Singapore's airport, it's probably this: the world's largest indoor waterfall. At 40 meters tall and looking like something out of Avatar, it's the signature feature of Jewel, a $1.25 billion luxury retail complex that opened in 2019. Designed by celebrity architect Moshe Safdie, Jewel is a destination in its own right. Beyond offering a hotel and luxury shopping, it's got a butterfly garden, a maze, a slide park, and even a free movie theater. More than 80 million people visited Jewel in 2024. About 2/3 of those were locals and 1/3 international travelers, some of whom even planned their itinerary around a trip to Jewel. That pretty much says it all. I mean, would you ever put an airport on your bucket list? As great as Jewel is, it's not a terminal, but that's what Changi needs to grow. You see, it may be the best airport in the world, but it's far from the largest. With more than 68 million passengers per year, Changi is only the 15th busiest airport in the world, and only in 4th place if you just look at international flights. But there is demand for more capacity. Experts project that Asia-Pacific travel will grow more than 5% a year over the next 2 decades. That translates to doubling numbers in just 14 years. So Changi is scaling up in a very big way. Terminal 5 is designed to allow the airport to serve as many as 140 million passengers each year. This will move Changi to the category of mega airports, meaning it can handle more than 100 million passengers a year. But they're not the only ones. Several airports across Asia are massively expanding. Incheon Airport in Seoul just added a 4th runway and expanded a terminal to give it a capacity of 106 million passengers per year. Hong Kong has added a 3rd runway and is expanding a terminal in order to reach 120 million passengers a year. And the biggest of all, Dubai, has started work on an airport project that will eventually handle 260 million passengers. So the race is officially on, and Singapore wants to secure its place as the international gateway to Asia. With so many major hubs in Asia leveling up, for Changi to stay on top, it needs to make its own bold new statement. Which brings us to Terminal 5. Designed to be one of the largest terminals in the world, it'll increase the airport's capacity by 55% all by itself. The scale of it makes sense as soon as you see the vision for T5. It doesn't even look like 1 terminal, it feels more like 3. Terminal 5 will be divided into Terminals 5A, 5B and 5C. Given the worldwide attention Changi got when it opened Jewel, T5 has big design shoes to fill. Despite the terminal's size, everything is focused on smaller human-scale areas, so travelers won't feel like they're being processed in a giant transportation factory. In fact, the team behind the design aims to treat the new terminal as an extension of Singapore itself. So a series of neighborhoods and distinct areas, each feeling unique. Overlapping roof leaves with curved shapes will allow natural light to fill the terminal in uneven patterns. And on the inside, designers want Terminal 5 to feel warm and welcoming. Vertical gardens are a key design element in the arrivals area, a reference to Singapore's reputation as a garden city. Before we take a look at how exactly it'll function, quick thanks to CyberGhost VPN for supporting the channel. By now, you probably heard us talk about VPNs. I've been using CyberGhost for over a year now, and honestly, it just works. Whether I'm working on videos at home or while traveling, I like knowing that my data isn't being tracked or sold. CyberGhost has over 38 million users and an excellent rating on Trustpilot. What I really like is that you can use CyberGhost on up to 7 devices at the same time. I've got it on my laptop and my phone, but you could even share it with family and friends. And it also lets me watch content that might normally be blocked where I live. You can also get up to 40% more content from your streaming platform, and even better deals online. Overall, it's just really simple to use. You can either pick from over 100 countries yourself or just let it choose the best location for you. Then you just hit this button, and that's it. This way, all your traffic is encrypted and rerouted through their secure servers, so no one can see your activity. Right now, you can get 84% off plus 4 whole months for free. And they also have a 45-day money-back guarantee, so you can literally just try it risk-free and see if you like it or not. Check them out at cyberghostvpn.com/megabuilds or use our link in the description. And now, let's check out some of the massive upgrades that make moving huge numbers of passengers quick and effortless. Immigration, for example, is contactless and fast, with a new biometric system that uses face and iris recognition to quickly match travelers to their passports. Singaporeans can now enter without even showing a passport. And even foreign visitors only need to show it once on arrival. After that, departures are completely passport-free. The result? A smoother experience and way shorter wait times for everyone. Of course, speed is a concern everywhere in the airport experience. Given the size of T5 and the spread of the Changi complex and its older terminals, designers are keen to find ways to get travelers to their destinations quickly. All the buildings in Terminal 5 will be connected by an airport train system, which will also extend back to Terminal 2, where an existing SkyTrain serves Terminal 1 to 3. Terminal 4 is the only place at Changi you'll still have to reach by shuttle bus. So that's the system for moving around within the airport. As for connecting with the rest of Singapore, T5 and Changi East will be served by no less than 2 of Singapore's mass rapid transit lines. One existing line will be extended to reach T5, while the entirely new cross-island line currently being built is slated to terminate at the airport. Building all these lines at an active airport is no easy task. In 2022, they began tunneling under Changi's second runway without disrupting air travel. Engineers achieved this by using 2 custom-built tunnel boring machines, each more than 6 meters in diameter. These kinds of boring machines drill the tunnel and use the dugout soil to keep everything stable, until permanent tunnel walls are added. It works especially well on soft wet soil like the marine clay of Changi. And most importantly, it does it so with virtually no disturbance to the surface. Construction crews dug both tunnels at once, driving them from the T5 development area towards Terminal 2. The metro tunnels were completed at the end of 2024. And the passenger and baggage links for Terminal 5 are expected to be finished by 2029. But infrastructure isn't the only thing shaping Terminal 5. During planning, the COVID pandemic caused a 2-year pause and led to a major redesign. You see, Changi saw a massive decline in travelers during COVID. The airport was forced to temporarily close whole terminals because of outbreaks. With this new terminal, Changi is embracing a design of sub-terminals, so different parts of T5 could be isolated in a future pandemic. The terminal also features enhanced ventilation systems that can be turned on when needed, as well as a fully contactless passenger experience. As massive as T5 promises to be, it's just one part of a larger project. Changi East development also includes the Changi East Industrial Zone, a large new area for aircraft maintenance and air cargo, as well as logistics companies. Most importantly, Changi East gives the airport a new runway, its third. But how is there space for all of this? Well, it's all been in the works for years. Changi Airport has always existed on reclaimed land at Singapore's eastern tip, and the plan for further land reclamation, Changi East, started back in 1998. It involved dredging sand onto the soft marine clay of the area's shallow waters, about 200 million cubic meters of sand. Engineers had to compact all that sand to make it stable, and they used different methods to do it. First, dynamic compaction, which is basically pounding the sand over and over. Second, Müller resonance compaction works by vibrating a probe in the sand to settle it and get rid of air pockets. And finally, vibroflotation, which is similar but involves shooting water out into the sand as well. After that whole process had created Changi East, 1,080 hectares of new land, the Singapore Air Force moved in as the first tenant in 2013. But they're shutting down operations in 2030 to make way for T5, and the runway they leave behind goes to Changi. Since it would have been too short for civilian planes, it's already been extended to 4,000 meters, enough for today's largest commercial jets. If all of this sounds massive, well, that's because it is. But of course, all of Changi is made possible by land reclamation, and that sort of terraforming by definition means environmental impact. Land reclamation is almost a national pastime in Singapore. The city-state has gained more than 25% of its land area with reclamation projects over the last 200 years. That's also meant destroying many natural mangrove forests. Over the same time span, Singapore has lost more than 90% of them. But not only that, it has also caused massive damage to Singapore's coral reefs. They've declined by 60%. At the same time, T5's design includes some large-scale sustainability features. Those roof leaves that are so critical to T5's design, they also create lots of surface area for solar panels, which will help power what's already planned as a highly energy-efficient building. Details aren't available yet, but Changi claims T5 will have one of the biggest rooftop solar panel systems in Singapore, big enough to power 20,000 households. Based on Changi's existing solar array, that translates to about 85 megawatts in ideal conditions. Changi is also using T5 to expand its rain harvesting and water recycling efforts, and also tackle a variety of new waste management projects. Like many of the airports it's now competing with, Changi is looking towards a net zero carbon future, and it sees T5 as a key piece of that puzzle. By the way, if you're enjoying videos like this one, make sure to subscribe. This helps us a lot to produce better videos in the future as well. Thank you so much. So where does the new terminal stand today? A lot of the work is already underway, but there's not much to see yet. In June 2025, Changi announced the construction contracts for the tunnels between T5's sub-terminals. These tunnels will include the train system and baggage handling, as well as sub-tunnels below those to house power, utilities and other infrastructure. Construction is just beginning on the terminal itself, and in May 2025, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong kicked it off with a groundbreaking ceremony. The terminal construction is expected to last until the mid-2030s. The multi-decade land reclamation and building an industrial zone as well as a new terminal mean that these plans represent at least a $10 billion investment. But what do you think? Will Terminal 5 secure Changi's place as the world's best airport in the 2030s? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you want to try CyberGhost VPN, use our link for 84% off plus 4 whole months for free. You can use CyberGhost on up to 7 devices at the same time and share it with family and friends. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.